This year, the Danish government told every Danish farmer, put this patented feed product in your animals' feed, your cattle feed, or you will not be compliant. And if you're not compliant, we're going to find the bejesus out of you. It's a product called Bovaer Firmenich. To bureaucrats, hey, Bovaer is a bold climate solution that can be scaled massively with a few mandates. To farmers, it's a Weird Al experiment that has gone completely wrong and is literally killing their cows. Anyway, so what is this magic powder that they're putting in feed? It actually reduces an enzyme in the cow's first stomach and its rumen that produces methane. So the theory here is that if we feed this to the cows will burp less methane. In practice and practicality, what it is we are tampering with the microbes that have built our entire ecosystem. And we're trying to shut that down because our ecosystem is the problem. Cows aren't the problem. They're a part of the solution. Apparently, the Danish government isn't smart enough to figure that one out. You see, the methane that cows are actually burping is part of the natural ecosystem, part of what we call the carbon cycle. They don't actually make the carbon or the methane. What they do is they eat the grass that has a carbon in it, and as they're digesting it, they burp that up. And the methane that goes back into the air then gets recycled back down in. The grass eats the methane and the carbon from the air. That's what keeps plants healthy. It's a system that has evolved, a system that's evolved for much longer than human beings have ever had shoes. Look, long before the first Holstein, the first dairy cow, the first Angus bull, the Earth had millions and millions of ruminants. Bison, oryx, wildebeests, deer, elk. Ruminants that were belching methane by the gigaton. So much methane, it dwarfs anything we see in domestic herds today. And people will try and be like, well, we didn't have as many bison as we have cows. No, but when you add it all up, when you look at all the ruminants that once roamed this planet in massive herds, you're talking about a ton of methane. And guess what? The Earth evolved and survived just fine. It flourished, in fact, because of these animals. Our ecosystems would not exist today if it weren't for these animals.
Ancient eras and natural selection have refined and tailored pristine fibers with the resilience for today's days. Evolving beyond the last ice age, bison wool is nature's most dependable activewear. Buffalo Wool Company, 100% proven by nature, 100% American-made.
Check out the Buffalo Wool Company collection at yanasatradingco.com. Problem isn't really even the cow. The problem is the system that we've built around the cow, and we haven't learned very much from doing that. The system we built around the cow has, destroyed pastures, destroyed farmland, but a lot of farmers have caught on to that, and they said, hey, look, we could fix this if we just understand how the ecosystem operates. And we're seeing massive improvements on that scale all across the world. The one thing we haven't improved upon is the thought process that we can fix and control nature, God's creation. Now, here's the other thing about Bovaer, is regulators swear up and down this stuff is safe at the recommended feeding and dosage, etc. And then suddenly it's not so safe. It's like, putting lead in applesauce. The safety sheets for this stuff actually warn of eye damage, skin irritation. You can't inhale the stuff or it could kill you. It causes potential harm to male fertility. There's so much today that causes potential harm to fertility. For farmers to handle the raw product and mix it into the feed that their cows are eating, they have to go through all sorts of safety measures, goggles, gloves, respirators, just to feed their cows something that is labeled as, in theory, safe until you've reached the recommended levels and didn't do it correctly, and then we'll just put the blame on you. Farmers have to wear a hazmat suit, folks. This is craziness. Just let that sink in. The guy producing your food is having to do it in a hazmat suit with a respirator.